Riyadh is now planning a major economic overhaul with investments worth $3.2 trillion.
Riyadh, a city once a modest desert outpost with a population of just 83,000, has undergone a remarkable transformation over the last 70 years. Today, it stands as a sprawling metropolis of 7.8 million people. The capital of Saudi Arabia is also witnessing the wave of change that has engulfed the rest of the kingdom. Most notably, Saudi Arabia has just built the world's largest driverless metro. This may seem like an exaggeration, however, it is anything but. This ambitious project not only reflects the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's commitment to progress, but also marks a pivotal chapter in Riyadh's journey: the rise of Saudi Arabia. If one were to leaf through the history books and gaze at the glorious past of the Arabs, a people who swept out of their desert abode and carved a world empire, the likes of which had not been seen since the time of Alexander the Great or Caesar Augustus, one would struggle to find the mention of Riyadh, the current capital city of the Saudi kingdom. And this is rightfully so. It wasn't until the 1950s, a whole millennium after the gold age of the Arabs, that Riyadh began claiming its place on the map of the Middle East. This had been due in no small part to the discovery of vast oil reserves beneath the Arabian Peninsula. It was this discovery that laid the foundation for the rapid and dramatic urbanization of not just Riyadh, but the whole kingdom. For centuries, the Arabian Peninsula had been relegated to the periphery of global political and economic power, a land known primarily for its religious significance rather than its military or economic might. Once a vibrant hub during the Rashidun Caliphate, the heart of the early Islamic Empire, Arabia had been overshadowed by more dominant powers. The Rashidun era saw Medina as the epicenter of power, but as the caliphates expanded, the focus shifted to cities like Damascus, Baghdad, Cairo, and Istanbul, leaving the Arabian Peninsula to mostly retain its religious importance, especially as the birthplace of Islam. Today's world is far more different, though. The Arabs are about to reclaim their golden age. This time, however, it is not through conquest, but through innovation. But before we move to that part, let's resume our walk through history. With the discovery of oil in the late 1930s, Saudi Arabia began emerging from centuries of relative obscurity. The formation of the Arabian American Oil Company, or Aramco, in 1933 symbolized a turning point for the kingdom, as it ushered in an era of immense economic prosperity. In the 1950s, as oil exports became a central part of the global economy, Riyadh found itself at the forefront of this new wave of wealth. The kingdom's capital, which had long been confined to its original walled city, began to experience rapid urbanization as people from rural areas and other regions flocked to the city. The population of Riyadh grew exponentially, from a modest 83,000 in the early 1950s to over 1 million by the 70s. This explosive growth strained the city's infrastructure, which had been built for a much smaller population. Yet the kingdom was eager to modernize, and with the wealth flowing in from oil, massive development projects were launched across the country, and Riyadh was the focal point of this transformation. By the 1970s, Riyadh had become the world's largest construction site. It was during this time that the city's skyline began to take on a new character, with high-rise buildings, modern roads, and expanding neighborhoods reshaping its landscape. What was once a small settlement surrounded by desert had now blossomed into a sprawling urban center covering over 1,500 square kilometers. The city's rapid growth mirrored Saudi Arabia's larger ambitions on the world stage, as the kingdom sought to assert its influence on the global stage. The global oil crisis of 1973 further cemented the kingdom's position as a global energy powerhouse. The price of oil skyrocketed, and with it, the financial clout of Riyadh and the broader Saudi economy. The Saudi government invested their newfound wealth very wisely, targeting specifically the education, healthcare, and technology sectors. This helped modernize the country and build a robust economy that no longer relied solely on agriculture or trade routes. Yet, even as Saudi Arabia grew economically, it also found itself in the midst of a larger geopolitical struggle within the Muslim world. While Saudi Arabia's wealth and influence began to outshine other Middle Eastern nations, the kingdom sought not just to be a regional power, but to lead the Muslim world, especially in terms of religious authority. The significance of the Islamic holy cities of Mecca and Medina placed Saudi Arabia in a unique position, allowing it to leverage its religious leadership alongside its newfound economic power. This position of strength also gave the kingdom the ability to pursue ambitious foreign policy initiatives and exert its influence over the Arab world, while also navigating the complexities of modernizing a society that held religious tradition and conservatism in high regard. Riyadh was to become next in line to the great Arab cities of the past, but this undertaking was not going to be easy. The challenges of rapid growth. The 1980s and 90s marked a period of significant urban expansion, as Riyadh's population swelled with both the migration of people from rural areas and the influx of expatriates drawn by the oil-driven economic boom. With this population boom, however, came the undeniable consequences of rapid urbanization, overcrowding, congestion, and a strain on the city's infrastructure. The once spacious streets of Riyadh became increasingly congested, with traffic jams becoming a daily part of life. The limited road network, which had been built to accommodate a much smaller population, could no longer support the demands of millions of residents. With the sprawling urban expansion, commuting times soared, turning what should have been short trips into prolonged daily rituals. The effects of this were felt not only in terms of lost productivity, but also in the quality of life. The once vibrant, clean city was now burdened with air pollution, noise, and stress from the gridlocked streets. The quality of life that the city's rapid development had initially promised began to deteriorate for many residents, especially as the focus shifted from convenience and accessibility to sheer capacity. The problem was much bigger than mere traffic jams. The city's infrastructure, including utilities, healthcare, and education services, was struggling to keep up with the population growth. The sprawling nature of the urban expansion made it difficult to provide equitable access to essential services, with new neighborhoods sometimes lacking basic amenities or experiencing delays in development. The rapid rise in property prices, driven by increased demand for residential and commercial spaces, further exacerbated social inequalities. This mounting pressure created a pressing need for a long-term solution, one that could not only address the immediate problems of congestion and overcrowding, but also look ahead to the city's future. Riyadh's government recognized that addressing the challenges of rapid growth required more than just a patchwork of short-term fixes. It required a comprehensive and forward-thinking approach to urban planning, one that took into account the evolving needs of a growing metropolis, while also anticipating future demands. The solution lay in creating a transportation infrastructure that would alleviate congestion and offer a more sustainable model for urban mobility. This brings us to our actual story. In the early 2000s, the idea of the Riyadh Metro began to take shape, marking a crucial step in the city's vision for a smarter, more efficient future. The Riyadh Metro would not only help mitigate traffic jams, but would also offer a cleaner, more environmentally friendly alternative to private car use, which had become the dominant mode of transportation. In many ways, Riyadh's challenges during this period mirrored those faced by other rapidly growing cities around the world. However, what set Riyadh apart was its proactive approach to addressing these problems. The city's leadership understood that solving the challenges of rapid growth required more than just responding to immediate needs. The vision for a modern Riyadh. Over the decades following the 1970s oil boom, the once untouchable dominance of oil as the centerpiece of the Saudi economy began to face new pressures. Declining demand for oil, alongside global calls for sustainability and clean energy, was eroding the economic foundation that had fueled Saudi Arabia's rise. At the same time, the broader Middle East was grappling with a new era of geopolitical challenges and shifting alliances. The evolving nature of Saudi Arabia's foreign policy, particularly its rapprochement with Iran, signified a broader shift away from the decades of tension and rivalry that had marked the two nations' relationship. This thaw in relations symbolized an attempt to stabilize the region and neutralize the paranoia that had often dictated Saudi policy toward its eastern neighbor. Moreover, Saudi Arabia recognized that the future of its economic prosperity no longer depended solely on the black gold that had powered its rise. In fact, Saudi Arabia needed to prepare for a world in which oil would not reign supreme. Amid such complex geopolitical dynamics, Vision 2030 emerged as a bold roadmap for the kingdom's future, outlining its efforts to reduce its oil dependency, create a more diversified economy, and build a modern, connected, and sustainable society for future generations. Vision 2030 was a comprehensive national transformation plan that looked to the future of Saudi Arabia and the role the kingdom could play on the global stage. Central to this vision was the idea of sustainable growth. Riyadh, the kingdom's political and economic capital, stood at the center of this vision as a symbol of what the kingdom could achieve if it adopted forward-thinking strategies. By the mid-2010s, Riyadh's population had reached nearly 7 million, with projections suggesting that this number could increase even further in the coming decades. To support this population growth, the city required not only more residential and commercial space, but also a new form of connectivity. The Riyadh Metro, a cornerstone of Vision 2030, was designed to address these issues while simultaneously contributing to Saudi Arabia's broader economic goals. The metro was part of a larger initiative to diversify the economy, move away from oil dependency, and create a modern green city. The metro system was not simply about alleviating traffic congestion. It was about creating a sustainable, inclusive future that would decrease the kingdom's reliance on fossil fuels and reduce environmental impacts. With electric-powered trains, the Riyadh Metro was positioned as a key player in the kingdom's quest for environmental sustainability, aligning with global trends in urban development that favored public transportation over car-centric infrastructure. However, the metro was only a part of a much larger effort to revitalize Riyadh and Saudi Arabia as a whole. Vision 2030 emphasized the importance of creating a thriving, knowledge-based economy that could offer new opportunities for innovation and growth. This economic diversification included investments in technology, tourism, entertainment, and other sectors that would reduce the kingdom's over-reliance on oil exports. Now, let's see what this metro is all about. The world's largest driverless metro, a peek into Saudi Arabia's future. With the approval of the Riyadh Metro project in 2012, Riyadh began its journey towards becoming a global model of innovation and future-focused urban development. The $25 billion investment in the metro system was one of the largest infrastructure projects in the history of Saudi Arabia. Upon completion, the Riyadh Metro will hold the title of the world's longest driverless metro system. Stretching across more than 176 kilometers with 6 lines and 85 stations, the Riyadh Metro will serve a population that has rapidly expanded over the past few decades. When it reaches full operation, it is expected to carry over 3.6 million passengers daily, helping to alleviate the city's notorious traffic congestion and providing an efficient, reliable mode of transportation for the kingdom's rapidly growing population. This ambitious project is expected to significantly reduce the city's dependence on cars, aligning with the larger goals of Vision 2030 to create a more versatile economy. Most notably, the Riyadh Metro will be fully driverless, with trains operating on communication-based train control or CBTC technology. This cutting-edge system allows for real-time communication between the trains and the central control systems, ensuring smooth and efficient operation. This technology cuts down delays, improves reliability, and maximizes capacity operation. With no human drivers, the system can optimize its operations, minimizing the risk of human error while maximizing the flow of passengers. The trains will be equipped with advanced wireless communication systems that not only facilitate the seamless running of trains, but also ensure passenger safety. This system will also provide a significant step forward in the global trend toward automation in public transport. The introduction of driverless technology into a metropolitan transit system like Riyadh's places it on par with some of the world's most advanced cities. The project's scale and innovation draw comparisons to other major driverless metro systems, such as those in Dubai. with the Dubai Metro being another regional model of automated transit. However, what sets the Riyadh Metro apart is its sheer scale and the cutting-edge technology behind its operations, with the system's automation pushing the boundaries of what is possible in a metro system. The scale of the Riyadh Metro project also required a truly global effort, with companies and experts from multiple countries working together to make this vision a reality. Major international construction firms such as Bechtel from the United States, FCC from Spain, Alstom from France, and others were brought in to handle various aspects of the project, from the construction of stations to the installation of track systems and automation technologies. This international collaboration has helped ensure that the project benefits from the best and most innovative practices in the world. This team faced the monumental challenge of tunneling through the desert terrain. The desert's rocky and sandy conditions made the excavation of tunnels particularly difficult. To overcome these challenges, the team used tunnel boring machines to excavate approximately 7 million cubic meters of earth. Moreover, the construction of the Riyadh Metro had to be carefully coordinated to minimize disruption to the city's existing infrastructure. The foundations of nearby buildings and the presence of underground voids posed risks that required meticulous planning and real-time monitoring. The use of advanced techniques, such as ground-penetrating radar and other monitoring systems, allowed the construction teams to navigate these challenges, ensuring that the excavation did not damage existing structures and that the integrity of the surrounding area was maintained. Overall, the project involved 19 different companies from 13 countries, each contributing its specialized expertise to different aspects of the metro's construction. Safety and precision were also paramount throughout the project's planning and execution. Given the size and complexity of the metro system, meticulous attention was paid to ensuring that every aspect of the project adhered to the highest standards of safety. Real-time monitoring of construction processes, ongoing coordination between companies, and the use of state-of-the-art technology were all critical to minimizing risks and maintaining high-quality construction. The scope and scale of the Riyadh Metro system. Upon completion, the Riyadh Metro system will span 176 kilometers, stretching across Riyadh's urban and suburban areas. The metro will feature 6 color-coded lines and 85 stations, designed to provide a comprehensive and seamless transit experience for the city's residents. The metro's 6 interconnected lines have been meticulously planned to serve the entire city with maximum efficiency, ensuring that every corner of Riyadh is well connected. Each line has been strategically designed to pass through key districts, commercial hubs, residential areas, and vital transportation nodes, making the Riyadh Metro a central component of the city's urban transformation. The project's scope and scale have set a new standard for public transport systems in the region and are set to revolutionize the way people commute in Riyadh, significantly reducing the city's reliance on private cars. Each line of the Riyadh Metro has been designed to cater to the specific needs of the population. The Blue Line, the longest of the 6, spans 38 kilometers and serves key commercial, shopping, and residential districts, including Oya Street and Al Batha. It is expected to become a lifeline for commuters traveling between the city's bustling shopping centers, office buildings, and residential neighborhoods. The line will ensure that residents and workers in Riyadh's major districts can travel quickly across the city without any hassle. The Red Line, measuring over 25 kilometers, will connect densely populated areas with Riyadh's commercial and educational centers. With stations serving neighborhoods, business districts, and universities, this line will support the daily commute of students, professionals, and families. By linking residential areas with major business centers and academic institutions, the Red Line will reduce commute times and contribute to the city's efforts to decentralize its economy, making it easier for people to access work, education, and essential services. The Orange Line, at 40.7 kilometers, will be the longest of the metro's lines and will connect the western districts of Riyadh to the city center. This line is crucial for linking the more distant parts of the city with the central commercial and governmental zones. As Riyadh continues to grow, the Orange Line will serve as an essential connector for those living in the western districts, reducing travel times to the city's core and fostering greater connectivity between residential areas and commercial hubs. Next up, The Yellow Line will span 29.5 kilometers and connect two major economic and transport hubs in Riyadh: King Khalid International Airport and the King Abdullah Financial District. This line will play a key role in facilitating easy access for international and local travelers, businessmen, and investors. It will make the journey to and from the airport faster and more efficient, supporting the growth of tourism and business travel while also reducing the congestion around the airport, a critical node in the city's global connectivity. The Yellow Line is expected to be particularly important for visitors and professionals flying in and out of Riyadh, ensuring a seamless link between the city's commercial heart and its transportation gateway. The Green Line, covering 12.9 kilometers, will serve as a crucial connector between the central districts of Riyadh and other key areas. Its relatively shorter span doesn't diminish its importance, as it will link major residential, commercial, and governmental areas, ensuring that the heart of Riyadh remains well connected to the suburbs. The Green Line is set to help people move between the city's central core and more peripheral areas with ease, reinforcing the city's overall transportation infrastructure and contributing to more efficient urban mobility. Finally, the Purple Line will span 29.7 kilometers, connecting Riyadh's eastern sectors and some of its farthest corners. By serving the outlying areas of the city, this line ensures that the metro system provides comprehensive coverage, extending its reach to regions that may have previously been underserved by public transportation. The Purple Line is crucial in connecting Riyadh's growing eastern districts to the city's central and western sectors, enhancing accessibility and reducing travel times. It would be no exaggeration to say that the scale of the Riyadh Metro is staggering. Its interconnected design ensures that no matter where residents live, work, or study, they will be able to access the metro easily. Each line is positioned to service not just the major population centers, but also the city's business, financial, and transportation hubs. This thoughtful, inclusive design makes the metro system an integral part of Riyadh's growth and modernization, as it accommodates the needs of a rapidly expanding city and supports the kingdom's long-term urban and economic planning. In comparison to other major global metro systems, the Riyadh Metro is set to rival the likes of New York, London, and Paris in terms of scale and innovation. However, it will also be distinctive in its fully autonomous operations, which will set it apart from many other metro systems worldwide. By incorporating driverless technology, the Riyadh Metro will not only lead the way in technological innovation, but also serve as a model for future metro systems in the region and beyond. Prince Mohammed bin Salman's broader vision for Saudi Arabia. The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia is anything but ordinary. His broader vision for Saudi Arabia represents a highly ambitious, often controversial, and transformative plan for both the kingdom and the wider Arab world. He is no stranger to controversy himself. His ascent to the Saudi throne was neither smooth nor expected. In 2015, after the death of his father, King Abdullah, his half-brother, King Salman, ascended to the throne. Prince Mohammed, the king's son, was initially appointed as the deputy crown prince. However, in June 2017, King Salman removed the then crown prince, Mohammed bin Nayef, from power and installed Mohammed bin Salman as the crown prince. This move shocked many within the royal family and raised concerns regarding the consolidation of power in MBS's hands. His rapid rise was met with both admiration for his assertiveness and skepticism over his methods. MBS's rise was characterized by a strong anti-corruption campaign, which he launched in 2017, rounding up several high-profile figures, including princes, ministers, and businessmen. While the crackdown was framed as an effort to curb corruption within the kingdom, it was widely seen as a way for MBS to secure his position by eliminating potential rivals. This move has been criticized for its authoritarian undertones. MBS announced his flagship policy initiative, Vision 2030, in 2016, as part of his broader aim to transform Saudi Arabia into a modern, diversified economy. The plan encompasses a wide range of ambitious projects, including the development of a massive tourism sector, technological advancements, and the creation of futuristic cities like NEOM, a $500 billion smart city to be powered by renewable energy, and designed to be a hub for innovation. The Crown Prince's approach to foreign policy, which is in line with his ambitious Vision 2030, has been bold, often aggressive, and aimed at positioning Saudi Arabia as the leader of the Arab world, as well as asserting its dominance in the wider Middle East. However, his relationship with regional powers has been marked by contradictions and shifts that have at times stunned the international community. One of the most unexpected developments in recent years was MBS's rapprochement with Iran, a country that Saudi Arabia has long viewed as its primary regional rival. In March 2023, MBS's government announced a surprising agreement to restore diplomatic ties with Tehran after years of tension and rivalry that had included proxy conflicts in Yemen, Syria, and Lebanon. The move was a significant shift from the confrontational stance that Saudi Arabia had taken towards Iran in the past. It even stunned some of Saudi Arabia's closest allies, particularly the United States, which had been working to isolate Iran under the leadership of Donald Trump. The Crown Prince has also articulated a bold goal of transforming the Arab world into a thriving economic and cultural powerhouse, resembling a new version of Europe, but with Arab characteristics. At the heart of this transformation is the Saudi-led Arab world. MBS has frequently emphasized the importance of unity within the Arab world, stressing a need to revive pan-Arabism, which has been in decline since the mid-20th century. The vision of a unified Arab world, with Saudi Arabia at the forefront, is a direct challenge to the geopolitical dominance of non-Arab powers like the United States, Iran, and Turkey. To achieve this, MBS has pushed for closer cooperation with other Arab nations, particularly in economic ventures, technological innovation, and trade. Saudi Arabia's soft power in the region has expanded significantly under his leadership, as MBS has sought to play the role of both a mediator and a power broker in regional conflicts. Additionally, he has positioned the kingdom as a leader in the Muslim world, using Saudi Arabia's religious significance to bolster its diplomatic standing. The development of key infrastructure projects, such as the Riyadh Metro, is a manifestation of this vision. By modernizing the capital city's transportation system, MBS aims to create an interconnected, accessible, and sustainable city that serves as a model for the rest of the region. Riyadh's metro system, with its cutting-edge technology and international partnerships, is an integral part of this transformation. The metro will not only alleviate the city's growing congestion, but will also serve as a symbol of the kingdom's prosperity. The Riyadh Metro is poised to reshape not just the city's transportation network, but the very fabric of daily life for millions of its residents. With the opening of the first 3 lines to the public in December 2024, and the remaining lines scheduled to follow in early 2025, Riyadh will be ushered into a new era of urban mobility. This groundbreaking infrastructure will not only revolutionize how people move across the capital, but will also serve as a key driver in the city's broader transformation as part of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 initiative. Beyond its countless practical benefits, Riyadh Metro is also a critical component of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030, the kingdom's ambitious plan to diversify its economy and reduce its dependence on oil. Vision 2030 envisions a more sustainable, connected, and modern Saudi Arabia, and the Riyadh Metro plays a pivotal role in this vision. The metro system not only reduces reliance on oil, but also encourages the use of clean, efficient transportation, aligning with Saudi Arabia's goals to improve urban sustainability and lower carbon emissions. As the city grows and its population continues to expand, the metro will serve as a backbone of future mobility, integrating seamlessly into a broader, interconnected urban network that includes buses, cycling infrastructure, and pedestrian-friendly zones. The goal is to make Riyadh a more livable, accessible, and environmentally friendly city. The opening of the Riyadh Metro will also mark the beginning of a wider cultural shift in the city. As people become more accustomed to using public transport, car culture, which has dominated the city for decades, will likely decrease. Public transport systems have long been a staple of cities in Europe, Asia, and North America, and Riyadh's embrace of the metro signals a major shift towards a more modern, cosmopolitan identity. The metro will also encourage greater integration between the city's various districts, ensuring that residents, regardless of where they live, can access the same opportunities for work, education, and leisure. This greater mobility will foster a more inclusive society, allowing people from different backgrounds and income levels to benefit from the city's expanding economic and cultural offerings. Overall, with improved connectivity and efficient transport, Riyadh is positioning itself as a more attractive destination for international investors and multinational companies. The metro will facilitate easier access to business centers and financial districts like the King Abdullah Financial District, positioning Riyadh as a major player in global finance and commerce. This increased accessibility will help attract talent from around the world, further bolstering Saudi Arabia's push to diversify its economy and move away from oil dependence. As the first lines of the metro begin operation and more lines are rolled out in the coming months, Riyadh's transformation will continue at a rapid pace, making it a model for modern cities in the region and around the world. In the future, Riyadh will not only be a hub for business and culture, but a shining example of a city that embraced innovation, sustainability, and inclusivity, redefining urban living in the 21st century. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Did you like this video? If you did, please consider liking, dropping a comment, and hitting the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on our new uploads. Also, don't miss this video you see on your screen right now. It's truly unbelievable.